Start Malla. Morning, students. Previous class, I have explained you about a healthy life. Hope you have followed the rules and regulations which I have taught after explaining the lesson called as a healthy life. At present situation, healthy life is very important to keep your body fit and fine. Hope you are doing it, following into my footsteps, whatever I have told you. And I have told you that healthy life, what happened to the student, what happened to the boy, how he fell ill, and lastly and finally, who came to help him? A doctor by name, Dr. Fit and Healthy. He was the one who gave the advice for his parents as well as for the general people or the general public, saying that you please follow these rules and regulations where you are going to keep your have a normal life and a healthy life it is. Now let us pass on to a new poem which is called as the Gymnastic Clock, written by M.C. Davies. You can just have a look at a board. Already it's written on the board, the Gymnastic Clock, written by a lady poetess, an English poetess called an English lady called as a M.C. Davies it is. If you have a textbook, you can open and follow me where I am reading, what I am reading. If you don't have a textbook, I am going to read the poem twice and then the explanation goes on. So students, be ready, involve yourself, take interest in this poem. It's a very nice poem, a very simple poem, which is written for you little students by M.C. Davies it is. Now the poem starts. The gymnastic clock. The little clock is friend with me. It talks as plain as can be and says each morning as it rises, now don't forget your exercises. Both hands above your head, you know. Then lower them very slowly so. Oh, don't get tired and stop that way. I exercise like this all day. Right in its face, then I say, pooh. I would not boast of it like you, but I can swing my arms round too. And so the clock then looks at me, and I look back and I and he. Each single morning when we rise, just exercise and exercise. So the poem is completed. So once again, I am reading it. Follow it carefully, listen carefully, and observe carefully. The heading of the poem is The Gymnastic Clock. The little clock is friend with me. It talks as plain can be, and says each morning as it rises, now don't forget your exercises. Both hands above your head, you know. Then lower them very slowly so. Oh, don't get tired and stop that way. I exercise like this all day. Right in its face, then I say, ooh, I would not boast of it like you. I would not boast of it like you. But I can swing my arms round too. And so the clock then looks at me, and I look back and I and he. Each single morning when we rise, just exercise and exercise. After reading the poem twice, now you might have followed the poem because it's very simple, it's very easy. Some ideas you might have collected in your mind, isn't it? Most of you might have collected the ideas in your mind. So before the explanation of the poem, let us have a little knowledge about our poetess. The name of the poetess is given as M.C. Davies. A short initials have been given her. Her full name was Mary Caroline Davies. When she was born in the year 1918. Where she was educated? She was educated in California. So where is California? In America it is. She published or she gave a beautiful book for the Americans. The name or the title of the book was called as The Drums in a Street. The name of the title of her book published was The Drums in a Street. A book on war poems. See about what she has written. She has written about wars because 1914 to 1918, First World War took place. That means she might have written The Drums of a Street about a First World War, I think. And this poems, not a poem, poems it is, plural word is given here. So she has written a number of poems about what? About wars. Why it took place, where it took place, what was the reason behind the wars to take place. That she has written. And one more book she published in the year 1919 called her Collections of Poems. Collections of her poems. The title of the book was Youth Ridings, the collections of her poems. She has written in a big thick book called as your Youth Riding it is. So Miss Davis has also written several plays. So Miss means she was a spinster. So she has written several one-act plays. Plays means dramas it is. And one of which is The Slave with Two Faces. The plays which she has written, among them which became very famous or very popular throughout the world, the title was given as the title which became very famous was The Slave with Two Faces. The Slave with Two Faces. So this play became very popular among the English people and had successful presentation. That means copies after copies were sold. The people were so much interested in reading this play. The demand was more. It was published or it was printed many times. That means to say, had a successful presentation. So now let me go to the poem called as your gymnastic, which is already written on the board, which you have already followed the title, the heading of the poem. Now let me start the explanation now. So M.C. Davies, Morley Caroline has written a very beautiful poem for you little students. What type of language is written here? The language is very, very simple. When you read twice or thrice, you can follow the main idea of the poem. What it says, what is the message given for you? Here it is. Says that you have to work like a clock. Which clock it is? The clock is called as a gymnastic clock. See in the first three lines, the little clock is friends with me. It talks as plain as can be and says each morning as it rises. How this clock is behaving. The poet says that this clock behaves with me like a friend and it talks me as plain as means this clock talks me in a very simple language which can I follow the language of this clock. So what is the language of the clock now? Tick 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 it is. That is the signal, that is the signal which gives me early in the morning, it says, and says each morning as it rises. What rises in the morning? The sun rises in the morning. When the sun rises in the morning, so this clock starts giving me a signal. Come on, dear, leave your bed. Still you are in bed. Already the sun has risen. What you are supposed to do now? You are supposed to first complete your regular work or your routine work. What you do as soon as you leave your bed or you get up from your bed. So you have to freshen yourself. You know the meaning of that. It talks as plain as can be. In a very simple language, it says, come on, leave your bed. It is too late. Already the sun has rises. That means it's a time for you to work, or it is a time for you to complete your regular or freshen yourself and get ready for the school, it says. And says each morning as it rises, as the sun rises, the gymnastic, the clock says, come on dear, leave your bed or wake up or get up from your bed to complete your regular work, routine work, or freshen yourself, it says. Now don't forget your exercise after you freshen yourself. So what is the other important work waiting for you? The gymnastic clock is reminding you, or it's talking to you saying that freshen yourself and start your exercise, because exercise is very, very important in everybody's life. In a present world, don't think that we are still young children, we are little children. Even you have to do exercise and you have to lead a normal life. By doing exercise, your organs of the body become strong and also you be fit and fine. Who says? The clock says. As I'm working continuously without a break, without a stop, why can't you work? At least you take a rest. You relax during night time, but daytime, as soon as the sun rises, you have to leave your bed and start your exercise. It says, both hands above your head, you know. So now it says, both hands above your head. You recollect your Saturday's first class, that is your PT period, after the assembly, after the school prayer is over. Every Saturday you have a PT class or a PE class, physical education class. You have it where you do your exercise, you do your drill. In a similar way, the clock says, both hands above your head. Above your head means on the top of your head, and you do. Then lower them very slowly on. Especially when your PT master says you to sit on the ground, you sit on a ground, then you squat yourself, and then what you do, you keep your hands above your head, and your PT masters starts giving the number 1 to 12. What you do, you start lowering your body, lowering your head, touching your ground, and then slowly and gradually you raises your head. So here the clock says that keep your hands above your head. Squat yourself on the ground. Squat properly means be comfortable and then start doing your exercise. It says, oh, don't get tired and stop that way. When you scat on the ground, when you sit on the ground, don't get tired, don't get exhausted. First day or second day, when you haven't done the exercise, you may feel tired, you may feel exhausted or extremely tired, but don't get tired, it says. As you keep on doing it regularly, make a regular work, make a routine work in your life, add this exercise as a routine in your life. So naturally and surely, you may not get tired, you may not get bored up, whereas you may enjoy yourself by doing such exercise. You will enjoy as well as even your body is becoming fit and fine. It says, oh, don't get tired and stop that way. Once you feel your body is aching, your body is paining, you might think, oh, my body is paining from top to bottom. Why should I do this exercise and all? No, never. Once or twice or thrice. First 3 days you may feel, later on you will be adjusted. It says, I exercise like this all day. You know what is my work? My work is to keep on giving the time message for you. I don't get tired. How do you get tired? So soon and so fast, the clock says. Right in its face, then I say, Pooh, oh, you are so tired because I talk to you right in your face. Right in your face, then I say, Pooh, why are you tired so soon? Because you have no practice, so you have been tired so soon. It says, I would not boast of it like you. You know, you people, even if you do a 15 minutes or half an hour work, you keep on boasting. You keep on saying to each and everybody, oh, since morning I have done this work. Oh, continuously for half an hour, for 1 hour, this work I have been doing it. I have been doing it. You boast. You want to show your work, whatever you have done. You want to show to your parents, maybe to your school, teachers, maybe to your classmates or to your friends when you come to school. Whereas here the clock says, I don't boast like human beings because human beings have a boasting character or they have a boasting nature. Every time they say, I have done so much, I know so much. So the clock says here, I never do that work. You learn from me not to boast yourself. Just keep on doing your work. Your duty, your life is to do the work. You must and should do the work till you are alive in this world. The clock says, but I can swing my arms round too. But I can swing my arms round too. You know how my hands, especially when we speak in English, we say the hands of the clock. We don't say the needles of the clock. Be very careful. Don't say the needles. It's the wrong English. We should say the hands of the clock. So here it says that I can swing my arms round like you as you swing your hand, as you just keep your hands up and down. Do your hands up and down. Swing means doing like this and like that, backward and forward, even like you. I can do it. How means I keep on showing the time. Maybe the time is 12 o'clock or 12:10 now. So what I do, my hands keep on moving. It comes to 1. Again from 1 it becomes 1:15, 1:30, 1:45 too. So like this, in this way, I swing my arms, I swing my hands round the clock, round the year, it says. And so the clock then looks at me. So I have a clock in my bedroom. So what I do, both of us look at each other. So the hands clocks are swinging. Even my hands are swinging. Why it is swinging? Because I am doing a physical exercise vigorously, fastly, and very carefully. The child says here. And so the clock then looks at me, and I look back, and I and he. So both of us are looking at each other. The clock is watching me, and I'm watching at the clock, are looking at me. The clock is looking at me, I am looking at the clock, it says. Each single morning when we rise. So, what is this? This is a daily routine of our life. Every morning, regularly, daily, I have to leave my work, bed, do this, go freshen myself, go do the exercise, and then pack up myself for school. But unfortunately, nowadays you don't have a school. When the school reopens, you have to get ready with your school bag, and then you have to reach school or you have to come to school. Each single morning when we rise, just exercise and exercise. Here the clock says, if you have done the exercise today, don't say that I have done today. It is a regular routine where you have to do it every day. It is without missing even a single day. It is. So what is the message given by this poem is that it gives the message that keep your body fit and fine and healthy life. To have a healthy life, you must and should follow these instructions and rules to keep your body fit and fine and to survive in this world, it says. And also the poetess says that don't do the work by force. Every work has to be done by yourself. It should be inborn. Inborn means it should come from you. No father and no mother should say that, come on, leave your bed, freshen yourself. Then, after freshening yourself, have a breakfast, pack up from school, arrange your bag according to timetable and all. No need of saying such things for you, the poetess says. It should be inborn, means it should be within ourselves. Everything should come out. You have to grow, means you have to learn from inside it is. So none can teach, nobody can teach you the same thing 1,000 times or 100 times. It should be inborn, it should be within yourself. Oh, I must and should do this work. I must and should learn. I must and should be good in my soul as well as in my activity. It says means that you can make your life spiritual. Spiritual means no need of parents saying you every day, come on, freshen yourself and worship God and all. Once they have taught you, this should be followed by you till your lifelong. That is called as inborn or inside you it is. Then there is no teacher that but in your own soul. So who is the best teacher? The best teacher is within yourself. You try to regulate yourself, do the regular things, and be a regular student, be a good student, be a good daughter and son to your parents. That's all, nothing else, my message now.